Hello again. I've gone and done it again. I've overheated my phone again. I think eventually I will learn from that little mistake, but I keep doing it and coming out, and it's nice to sit in the sunshine, but the phone does not like it very much. So so if you've it probably takes some time for people to join again. I don't know, do you get notifications or whatever? But I think I was just talking about gratitude there from a comment from Sharon, and she was saying daily gratitude is the biggest change for her life, and I was saying that absolutely this is one of the most powerful things that we can do right now, starting today, and we don't need anyone to tell us how to do it. Everyone knows how to be grateful. We know what it's like to feel grateful and appreciation for things that we have in our life, for people we have in our life, and it doesn't have to be complicated. If you feel like, if it's difficult for you to find, we know how to be grateful, but some people, we might feel like there's not a lot of things to be grateful for in our life. If we get into a point of for feeling like depressed or down or these things, and I know exactly what that feels like, we can feel like there aren't many things to be grateful for, but we can go as simple as what I just said. When I wake up in the morning, I am grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that I have woken up this day. I have woken up. That's a very Northern Irish thing. I don't even know if that's a real word. Woken up. Okay. I'm grateful that I can breathe today. I can eat. I've got people around me. I have choices. I have infinite choices. So you can always find something to be grateful for, and it doesn't have to be material. It doesn't have to be. It can be very simple and very basic to life. So, again, along with breath, I would say for the point of the first video is to show you that for me, the most important thing that we can do every day is breathe. And then I would add to it, like Sharon says, if we could add gratitude into our day every day. Those two things can just being conscious of our breath, being aware of our breath, and using it in times that we need, and just being aware of it at times. I think is there someone else has joined? Sorry, it's very hard to see this again. Khaled, so it's a very sad thinking of you all, Khaled. I don't know what that's. I think it might be the wrong video. I would say add gratitude. If we think of the breath as the most important thing we can control, then what else can we do? We can be grateful every day. We can use our infinite choices to choose things that are let's say, if we're talking about importance, that are important to our own growth, to our life, how we can make our lives better, so that in turn that we can help others' lives. We can use our influence and our positive thoughts and our positive ways of being to help others. So that's something I would encourage everyone to do. And I'd say you don't need someone to teach you. You don't need a course. You don't need to pay some money. You don't need to do anything to be aware of your breath, to use your breath in ways in which it's positive, beneficial to you. Use gratitude, use all of these things that are gifts to us, that we can really better ourselves and better our own lives. Obviously, for more advanced techniques, like in the breathwork sessions that we would do, I would definitely advise working with someone who is experienced in facilitating these things. But there are many not so intense ways of using breathwork that you can do on your own, and I encourage everyone to do it. And I'm going to do some videos of simple breathwork techniques that anyone can use at home on their own without anyone else. As I said, if we're going for more the really like transformational, intense sessions like what we do, you do need someone else to be there with you to support you and to just guide you and allow you to feel safe, and allow you to really go deep into your consciousness and come away from the body and come away from the thoughts. Those practices, you do need someone with you, but there are ways in which you can reach similar type experiences just on your own, through meditation techniques and breathwork techniques that are very safe, very energizing, they give a lot of peace and harmony. And I will, as I say, get some videos up there so people can can start practicing that, and I encourage everyone to do that. I'm just going to see if there's anything else. So if anyone else that's on there would like to have like any message, any comments, they'd like to ask any questions about breathing, about gratitude, about law of attraction, money, relationships, anything like that, you can type, and we can chat about it there. So for anyone that didn't see the first video, I can just go over this briefly again. So anyone who's on there now, or anyone who will watch this in the future, if you just bring to mind now something that is stressing you in your life, some issue or some trouble that you have, something that could be going on all of your life, or could be something that's just happening today, or something that's stressing, or something, or even not so much, but sometimes, like if it's like a pain or a physical thing in your body, but if it's very like a chronic pain or something that you feel all the time, it'll be less effective, but it still can work. But if it's maybe like an illness or a disease or something like that, that is a longer term thing, or something like that, you don't feel specific pain in your body right now, that you can just bring to mind, and bring to mind the story that you have around that, because lots of things around issues that we have in our life, problems, stresses, even some illnesses, what our thoughts mostly about are not specifically the actual symptoms that are affecting me right now. It's the story that we tell ourselves around it. So it's a continual story of thoughts, of thinking of other people, about thinking myself, thinking about what's going to happen in the future, thinking about what's happened in the past. So there's a continual story. So your brain is on constant loop of negative thoughts, and creating stress and these sorts of things. So if you're watching now, the first thing that comes into your mind that is stressing you now, or a worry, a doubt, a fear, whatever it is, just bring it to mind now. And once you've got it in your mind, and you've got a clear picture, or however maybe you feel it in your body, you see it, I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose, and slowly exhale. I want you to take another deep inhale through your nose, and at the top of the inhale, hold your breath. Different people will let go of that breath at different times, depending on their body, depending on the breath. But I just want to ask you, if anyone who tried that now, if they did have an issue, or they were thinking about some problem, in that time when you were holding your breath, was that the most important thing in your life? Was that something that was the thoughts still flowing very strongly? Or were you thinking about, oh God, I need to let out this breath, this is I need to breathe, which is essential for life? Or were you able to, I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, maybe someone could tell me that they were able to think about their problem all the while through that. It's possible, everything is possible, but I'd be interested to hear if anyone was able. They don't have to necessarily share what the issue or what it was, but generally for most people, this whenever you do that practice, the only thing that you can, it clears the thoughts, and the only thing that you're thinking about is the next time I'm going to take a breath. So if you can continue that through your life, every day, being focused on the breath, and knowing that that's the most important thing, because once I stop breathing, it's over. There's not going to be all of those things that I might be worried about now, or issues that I think are very, very important, they're going to be gone when I stop breathing. So why don't I focus on my breath, use it in the way that it can be to clear those thoughts, and when you clear those thoughts, when you do this practice, then you can come up with solutions, you can come up with actions that will help those things that were causing that stress, whatever it is. You get clarity, you get space, and that's when intuitions and ideas and ways in which you can deal with those things will come through. So it's just giving space. So like one conscious breath, I always recommend people to do that every time you remember through the day, but especially at times when you're feeling a bit stressed, you're feeling a bit tired, I remember recently we visited Brazil to Sao Paulo, and it was the first time that I'd been there, and what an experience that was. So it was beautiful. I loved being in Brazil. I loved the people, meeting Elise's family. But the experience that I think about now is the subways, the like the train system in Sao Paulo, and you just have to experience this to know what it's like. So it's like, if you imagine sardines in a can, this is literally like that, but even more. They take the oil out and just put more sardines. It's just everyone is squashed to, like, they're like this, and you barely have room to breathe. And I, at that point, like, I was like, we came from some very nice countryside in Peru and very, very wide open, and then we came back into Sao Paulo and we had this, and for me it was stressful at the time, and I was like, what is going on? This is fucking crazy. It's just insane. So I used that practice. Then I started I maybe closed my eyes and I started breathing and just focusing on my breath and thinking about, okay, I'm on this short train journey, whatever length of time it takes, and it's a little bit uncomfortable now, but if I focus on my breath and focus on me, then is it going to be important? Is this something that's going to be important to me in a day's time, in 10 years time, in 40 years time? No, it's not. It's just an experience that I'm having now, and while I'm having that experience now, I have tools right under my nose that can help that, and just use that. So that's just an example of where I used it. Just trying to see if anyone else is shared there, but I'd be interested to hear if anyone tried that practice. Try it once, see what happens. Try it throughout the day when things are bothering you, or you get sort of thrown off balance in some way, and do that. And if anyone is interested in doing some more advanced practices where we can look at like your whole life, look at your relationships with yourself and with others, love relationships, family relationships, money, abundance, health, diet, any of those things. I'm doing programs where I'm working with people one-on-one on Skype or in person here in Portugal. If you want to do that, and breathwork is obviously the centerpiece of that. It's what we build everything around that. Everything starts with the breath, because the breath brings you to now, brings you to here and to you always. And we always, again, it happens unconsciously and we can be unaware of it, but once we actually put our awareness on it and are conscious of it, then we can use it as a tool. And we do, obviously, our most transformational program, I suppose, would be the breathwork program that we've done all around the world, and you can read about many results that people have had with that, like absolutely life-changing results in all areas of their life. And obviously we do those as well here in Portugal and other places, and we're doing retreats where we take that concept and make it 3 days, 5 days and 7 days, which is like very, very, very powerful. So if anyone's interested in that, you can check out the website activatebreathwork.com. There's lots of stuff on there, lots of free stuff and resources on the lifestyle section of the website, where you can see lots of videos that talks about these sorts of things I talk about, lots of books, and lots of just daily practices that you can do to put these practices into your life right away. Now, you don't need a retreat. You don't need to come to me for. You can teach. You can do these things yourself. As I say, if you want to take it to higher levels and take it to really change, like transform and change things in your life, yes, you may need some other practice, but don't let that be a barrier to practicing these things in your life now. So Sharon, it is amazing. I can highly recommend. So Sharon experienced the breathwork one of our workshops last week, I think it was, or was it 2 weeks ago? Time's flying so quickly. And she experienced it, and she had an amazing experience with a lot of other people there, and we're very grateful for Sharon for that absolutely amazing space. And that's one point, if anyone is in Spain or planning a trip to Spain, Sharon's place, it's called Feel Retreat. It's an absolutely beautiful place in Mojaca in Spain, so very, very beautiful scenic place, and her center is beautiful. So if anyone fancies heading to Spain, and she does lots of yoga and retreats and other treatments, and if anyone is going that way, I would highly recommend to check out Feel Retreat. I think it's feelretreat.com. If you can just tell me what the actual website is, I can put a link in anyway. But yeah, in Spain, Oaxaca, Costa Almeria, I think is the area. It's beautiful. So yeah, for everyone else, please do start a daily breath practice. Doesn't have to be difficult. It can be very, very simple. Just use some of the techniques that I have shared here. If you want some more advanced techniques or others, you can always message me in private. Some people don't like to share on these live videos, and that's fine. You can message me. We can talk in other ways. But yeah, so just the takeaway from today, I would say, is feelretreat.com. Yeah, so feelretreat.com. So if anyone's fancying a trip to Spain, I would highly recommend Sharon and her beautiful place there. So yeah, the takeaway from today is just pay attention to what is the most important thing in my life today. Is it a thought of the past and the future, or is it this next breath and the next breath and the next breath? And once you start creating that space in your life and creating that those priorities in your life will really change. So thank you very much everyone for joining. Sorry about the phone overheating again and creating 2 videos, but that's the way it goes. I wanted some sunshine, and the phone didn't like it so much. But so yeah, contact me through Facebook, through WhatsApp, on the website activatebreathwork.com, and I'm wishing you all an amazing day. And just remember, what's important to you is what's important to each of us, and that's individual. So lots of love, and I will chat to you all very, very soon. Ciao.